like to break down the stage of Islamic expansion in three. First stage is when you're outnumbered, because the chapters of the Quran are divided into two periods. The Meccan period, the Medinan period. The Mecki, Madani. The Meccan period, so when Muhammad claimed to be a prophet in 610 AD, in Mecca, he was outnumbered by the disbeliever. They're the ones who had the power, they had the money, they had the control. During that stage, the message of Islam, one of more, let's preach and see who's right, but if you disagree, to your religion, to my religion. That's stage one. So when he said it's not real Islam, well, they're in the same circumstances Muhammad was when he was outnumbered. So what part of Islam will they implement? Stage one. When the people in control, in charge, outnumber the Muslims, and the Muslims have no means of subjugating the people and taking control of their economics, politics, and every other aspect of society. So this is Islam in stage one. From 610 to around 622, Muhammad, or 623 they'll say, 13 years, was living in that context of being outnumbered. So if you read the chapter of the Quran composed during that period, you'll find very little on fight those who fight you. Very little on fight those who don't believe like you. Very little, if at all. Then he migrates to Medina. This is all in Arabia. Medina's to the north. Now he becomes the head of state. Now stage two. Fight those who fight you and oppress you. Self-defense state. Fast forward 2 years before he dies, he conquers the entire Arabian Peninsula. All of Arabia is under his control. Now he has a huge military base. He now controls the economics. Now is stage three. Expand Islam militarily, politically. So when you say this is not real Islam, no, it is real Islam because of the stage in which Muslims are. Now, if you want to see this paradigm played out, look at the different areas of the world. See if the Muslims are the majority or not. If they are, it'll be stage three. Stage three, they're in control.
Yeah.
They're the ones who can tell you what you do and you cannot do. If they have a large number, stage two. Islamophobia, you're robbing us of our rights and you're not letting our women, put on the veil and we have a right to now attack. When they're minority, stage one. So look around the demographics and see which country will you find Muslims implementing which stage. So in America, what stage would they be implementing?
One-ish.
One-ish, right? Getting to two, right?
Yep.
What about certain pockets in England?
Oh, it's like 2 right now.
2.
Yeah.
What about Muslim majority country? Stage 3.
Yeah.
See how it works?
Yeah.
So it's not that it's not real Islam. It is real Islam depending on your context.
Sam is absolutely.
So know this, that Islam will enter every house. Every house. Don't worry about the Islamophobes. They can yap all they want. Their children will be Muslim.
London is a Muslim. The mayor of Birmingham is a Muslim. The mayor of Oxford is a Muslim. The mayor of Luton is a Muslim. The mayor of Blackburn is a Muslim. The mayor of Sheffield is a Muslim. The mayor of Brighton is a Muslim. All of this was achieved by only 4 million Muslims out of the 68 million people in United Kingdom. Today in England, there are over 2,000 mosques. There are over 100 Sharia courts in England, and there are more than 50 Sharia councils. 78% of Muslim women do not work and receive state support and free accommodation. 63% of Muslims do not work and receive state support and free housing. The #1 most common baby name in England is Muhammad. This is not immigration, this is invasion.
Fundamentalist, I would only vote left. Why is that? I saw them as very stupid. I would fear the conservatives because they come with principle. That's not someone they can brainwash. But the left, I know they have no values and no principles to begin with.
And Sharia. Yes. The way that we will deal with that, inshallah, is through the electoral process. We will run candidates, inshallah, wherever Muslims live. And inshallah, we'll get to.
You're not the majority.
No, that's what I'm saying. We will have, inshallah, not yet, but we will have. That's why I'm running for commissioner. That's why, inshallah, we need more Muslims إنهم ينتخبوا commissioners, senators, congressmen, whatever, political, in cities, in the big government, small government,
In Dearborn, they already have control.
Yeah, Dearborn, where are you going now?
You'll see in Dearborn, they already have control over the city.
Yeah.
So it's not impossible. You know, it will take time. That's why the strategy is a long.
Member of the Minnesota State Senate. Mohammed Noor, member of the Minnesota House of Representatives. Jamal Osman, member of the Minneapolis City Council. Nadia Mohammed, mayor of St. Louis Park, Minnesota, the first elected Somali American mayor in Minnesota and one of the first in the United States. Aisha Chuktai, vice president of the Minneapolis City Council. Ilhan Omar, U.S. House Representative. Omar Fateh, Minneapolis mayor candidate. Abdi Warsami, executive director of the Minneapolis Public Housing Authority. Hamse Warfa, Deputy Commissioner, Minnesota Department of Employment and Economic Development. Fatia Firayate, Minneapolis Board of Education member. Suad Omar, City Council member, St. Louis Park, Minnesota. Former Minnesota State Representative. Farhio Khalif, activist and former candidate for Minneapolis City Council. Zoran Mamdani.
Islam is not a religion, it is a political movement. Egypt was a Christian country and it was conquered by Islam. Yemen was Christian and Islam conquered it. Morocco was Christian and Islam conquered it. Iraq was Christian and Islam conquered it. For 1400 years, Islam has been conquering countries, and the next big dog on the list is America. And if the American church does not wake up, not in fear, but wake up to preach the truth of the Bible, you will lose this country. The devil wants America, but we want Jesus to reign here. If you want Jesus, you got to reject Muhammad. If you want the Bible, you got to reject the Quran. If you want the 10 Commandments, you got to reject Sharia law. If you want churches, you got to reject the mosque. You will either have Jesus or Muhammad, but you can't have both.